car, built with the power of intelligent engineering, is now one of the best car values around. Consider this. Of all Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierras sold in the last 10 years, 96% are still on the road. And consider this. Your gallant men of Olds have the new 1992 Cutlass Sierra with all this equipment for just $13,195. All things considered, shouldn't you see your gallant men of Olds today?
When I was a boy, we only ate chicken on Sunday. Now people want to eat chicken every day. So Wendy's has a lot of different chicken sandwiches.
Like our chicken parmesan, a whole breast of chicken, mozzarella cheese, and a rich tomato sauce. Now that's Italian.
My daughter Wendy said, Dad, chickens are happening. Chickens are happening. Kids.
Come in today for the special taste of our chicken parmesan, only at Wendy's.
Your dentist told you about plaque. You knew what it could lead to. But you didn't listen. You need the new Braun Oral-B Plaque Remover. The unique cup-shaped brush cleans deep between each tooth and below the gum line. Just like your dentist wants you to.
That shelf should hold now, Doc.
The Braun Oral-B Plaque Remover. Only your dentist does it better.
Things happen. Uh-oh. Things happen. Things happen.
Because things happen, the best thing that can happen to you is a Rush Health Plan. Rush Anchor HMO, Rush Access HMO, or Rush Contract Care provide the best medical protection available.
Things happen.
Rush Health Plans, the best thing that can happen to you.
Married with Children's Katie Seagal. She says she's innocent Monday.
From the NBC Tower, this is Sports Sunday, the complete wrap-up of today's Bears game, plus all the action around the NFL. Sports Sunday with Mark Giangreco and the Bears' Steve McMichael.
Some fun. I get 200 times a day. The bread snaps on my toes. No one can tell me what to do because it's my show. That's right. Because it's my show. Yes, it is. It's my show.
Haha. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Of course, the World Series game was rained out tonight, so we've all.
We're going to have to cut those highlights. We're getting so many, it's going to be the whole show.
Way too many. Well, the Bears playing a rare Sunday afternoon game.
It was magnificent.
Handed the New Orleans Saints their very first victory. That was a thriller. Boy, you guys were hitting. Just hitting.
That was good. That was smash mouth football at its finest, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean...
See, you're showing a little chest here tonight.
Well...
Forgot your chest toupee there.
Well, you know, Mark, grass don't grow on no playground, son.
All right. Well, anyway.
No, but getting back to that.
What?
Yeah, those guys were hitting hard. I took a couple of shots. My mouth's still bleeding up.
Oh, man. What is this stuff? Your own blood. We're blood brothers now. Anyway, until today, the Saints were ringing up victories to the sound of a brand new battle cry. All the fans going, cha-ching. But today it was the Never Say Die Bears finally cashing in at closing time to register the big win. Let's go to the Superdome. First quarter, Bobby Hebert, bad shoulder and all. He beats the blitz, did this a couple of times, flips it to a crossing Floyd Turner, who gets a block and turns it up. He has gone 65 yards to the end zone. Quickly, it is 7-0, and the Bears are stunned. Second quarter, New Orleans trying to push it in on 4th and 1. The Bears defense stuffs Hebert. They measure and no.
Ching.
Then, 2 possessions later, Butthead nails a 34-yarder. The Bears on the board, 7-3.
Cha-ching.
And then later in the second, Jim Harbaugh running for his life all day. He got beat up, flicks it to Neal, bad hamstring and all. Anderson, a very gutty performance. That sets up a 48-yarder by Butler. It's up, and it's good. It's 7-6.
Cha-ching.
Just before the half, Morton Anderson put it back in the Bears' face with an unbelievable 60-yard cannon shot. It's 10-6 New Orleans at intermission. And then moving on to the third quarter. The Bears' defense kicks in again. The fridge was ferocious. Pops Dalton Hilliard, pops the ball loose. Lem Stinson recovers. Then after a huge pass interference call, Brad Muster cruises around the left side and drills it in. 13-10 Bears, can you believe it? Later in the third, Harbaugh, 5 of 22, puts it up for Waddle. It's picked out of the sky, though, by Vince Buck. Harbaugh, 2 big interceptions today. Bobby Hebert, then what does he do? He beats the blitz again, this time to Turner again, cutting across on a pick play. 17-13 Saints. Looks like it was over, but no. A little more than 2 minutes left. William wraps up Hilliard, the play of the game. There we go. Dick is screaming on the sidelines, trying to figure out what to do. After a shanked punt by Tommy Barnhart, Harbaugh finally clicks with Wendell Davis for 27. And then with 59 seconds left, Harbaugh to Waddle, who swarms his way into the end zone. 20-17 Bears. The Saints' very last chance coming up. Oh, I forgot that chain. Then, snuffed out by little Stevie Wonder himself. 2017 Bears win.
Cha-ching.
They're really getting kind of irritating, isn't it?
Were they showing that
Cha-ching.
on TV, the cha-ching thing
they
were doing down there?
They got that thing going down there.
That was irritating. Yes, it really was.
Well, anyway, Tom Scher took his little parasol to the Superdome today to cover this one and has tonight's closer look.
Can you believe it? Really now, did anybody expect the Bears to come up with a finish like that?
Man, this is what it's all about. I mean, people are getting snot knocked out of them out there. That's a good football game, boy. I mean, I don't care what the score was. They beat us. It was still a good football game. The people were hitting each other. That's what this is all about.
For much of the day, it was a frustrating return to New Orleans. Much of what the Bears tried didn't work. But they did establish the run somewhat, with Brad Muster doing yeoman's work and Neal Anderson coming off the doubtful list to average 4.5 yards per carry.
He didn't do a bad job for a guy who was not supposed to play.
It wasn't bad. You know, the adrenaline starts to flow, and you start to feel a little better. You feel like you can go. You know, you want to not let your teammates down.
In the air, before that final drive, Jim Harbaugh was only 2 for 19, as the Saints pass rush, with a little help, zipped off the ball to put on intense pressure.
Those linebackers on this artificial turf with this crowd noise, they got a huge advantage because they can beat our tackles right off the snap of the ball because our guys can't hear the snap count.
They've got a great rush, and I mean, on top of, you add that on top of the fact you can't hear a count, that makes them twice as quick.
By contrast, Saints quarterback Bobby Hebert lit it up, thanks primarily to a field day, a career day, by wide receiver Floyd Turner. Hebert threw for 291 yards. Turner will long remember his 9 catches and those 2 touchdowns. So will the Bears.
It's a little bit unfortunate because, our guys were playing so well, and then bang, here's the play for big yardage or whatever.
But the defense played well enough to keep the undefeated Saints from a bigger lead. And that, together with a lousy punt by New Orleans, gave the offense one more chance to show what it's made of. Harbaugh completed all 3 passes he tried on the winning drive. Wendell Davis made his only catch of the day. It couldn't have come at a bigger time.
I knew if I was to make that catch, it would give us an opportunity to win the football game.
I did my best when I was out there and was thankful to have a chance, one more chance anyway, to try to win the game, and it came through.
I mean, he's in danger of losing limbs out there, and he's hanging in there trying to do the best he can. I mean, this is tough stuff. I mean, this is the NFL. This is bad stuff. I got a guy that's worried about our average per pass. I can't worry about it. I got to worry if we can pass it.
But pass it he did, and Woodstock did it again. How is it that Tom Waddle is always in the right place at the right time to win a game?
We picked it up at the end, and it was a dramatic victory, and that's the way things are, things are meant to be. So I'm very happy right now.
Tommy Waddle. Isn't that something? Amazing, isn't it? Isn't that something? And that's my man right there. He went in for a touchdown.
You had a game winner earlier this year. Is this the biggest one of your career, Tommy?
So far, because it was such a pivotal game for our seasons.
We didn't even get like halfway through the woods today, like we just got our step into the woods. Now all the animals are going to come after us. Lions and Vikings and all that crap. Oh, my.
Perhaps it's appropriate that the Bears did this here, returning to the Superdome, the scene of their Super Bowl triumph. They get one of the biggest victories in franchise history, beating the odds. What a game. At the Superdome in New Orleans, Tom Scher, Channel 5 Sports.
What a game indeed. Now,
Lions and tigers and bears, oh my.
You corrected me before. The dolphins are mammals, but are Vikings animals?
Oh, if they're playing up in Minnesota, they are.
Ditka was wired, wasn't he?
Oh, Sam Watch doesn't hold a candle to him, does he?
That's right. He made the big comeback.
Yeah.
When Sports Sunday continues, we will break it down a little bit and present this week's Beautiful Man Award. Don't go away.
Sports Sunday is brought to you in part by your local Ford dealers and by Country Companies.
A couple of years ago, I tried that Chevy truck. You know, the one they said would finally beat Ford?
Don't remind me.
Well, they were wrong. So I'm going to get me a new Ford. You know, they got a new F-150 out this year.
Oh, yeah?
It looks great, and the interior's excellent. Besides, why should I buy another Chevy when the only new thing on it is a price increase?
Got me?
Introducing the redesigned 1992 F-150, available now at your local Ford dealer for only $219 a month.
Well, one thing's for sure. I'll never switch again.
I lent my car to my brother, and he demolished it. 2 years old, didn't have a scratch. Funny, about a month before my agent had recommended this extra keeper coverage, $21 more a year. I remember thinking, well, I probably don't need it, but if you think so, as it turns out, they gave me a brand new car. This year's model.
Country Companies. It's nice to know when it matters most. The country's behind you.
Guess it's just a matter of trust.
Al Bundy shows you how to become a successful breadwinner.
Kids, I think it's time to thank your father for bringing home minimum wage.
Thanks, Dad.
You can be happy with less.
I can't believe it. Everybody in the world is making money.
Aw, honey, that's not true. You're not.
On the next Married with Children.
Married with Children, tomorrow at 6:30 on Channel 5.
To help fight the corrosive effects of salt and water, every Lexus features airbag terminals plated in gold. Of course, we might have used a less expensive material, but it wasn't money we were interested in saving.
Welcome back to Sports Sunday. You had another good day. Another good day. Let's take a look. Now, I know you had to go up against 61. Joel Hilgenberg, Jay's brother.
I know that.
Does he hold as well as Jay? Or he hasn't got that down yet?
He doesn't hold as much as Jay. How's that?
You were in the middle of the screen. Now you go out to the right here, and you were in Hebert's face most of the afternoon. Ooh, that was a good hit.
Yeah.
Now, up the middle here, you get that big mid-up.
I actually heard a whistle blow on that play and was going about half speed.
Just kind of held up and threw your arm up there?
Yeah, but the play went on, and I just jumped up, put my
Am I wrong? Did you start with the shield and then took the shield off?
Yeah, it was hot in there with all those people in that dome, and I was sweating profusely.
And there's the sack on Hebert.
Every time I'd hit somebody, it'd fly into the mask, and I couldn't see. So.
Get the reflection indoors, too, huh?
Yeah. So I didn't care. Lose an eyeball, win a game.
Had to give it to Hebert. Had the bad shoulder. He hung in there pretty good.
Yeah, he proved his toughness tonight. He really did.
All right, the play of the game, I think. All right, we're down to it. After the touchdown, a few seconds left, the defense has to preserve the lead. Ditka, this looks ridiculous. Ditka has to call the defense over. Now, what's Ditka saying here? Oh, this was before. This was before he scored. That's right.
He just wanted to make sure we all understood how important this was to stop him, that we were still in the game.
Right, and then Perry with the big stop.
Wonderful play by William Perry there. Everybody complains about his weight, but he just keeps playing.
Right.
Keeps doing everything everybody asks him to.
Otherwise, they would have run out the clock. Now this sets the stage for the final drive. And Harbaugh, who had a tough day, comes up and boom, 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 hits 3. Now, are they playing prevent defense or what?
You know what? We've been huddling up and coming out and giving them a chance to set up. This whole drive was a hurry-up offense, and I think it kind of unsettled them. They didn't get they didn't get down and get the defenses they want called in there.
And there's Woodstock. He's amazing, isn't he? He's like Kenny Marjoram, except he catches them all.
Yeah, he's the only white guy deep threat in the league, baby.
And that was all set up by great field position because Tommy Barnhart shanked it out of bounds.
Which leads us to my most beautiful man of the...
Who is the beautiful man this week? Fridge, you?
No, our special teams coach, Steve Kazar, because he was the man that cut Barnhart when he was here.
I see. See, I never would have thought that.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
How was the noise down there? That bother you?
The fans should be chastised because they were in the game that second half and they didn't yell as loud as they did the first half.
They should have cranked it up a little more. Did you know that
it was bothering our offense in the first half?
Sure was. Did you know that the snow cone stands sold out there? Everybody was buying ice, so the Bear fans and the Saints fans could throw snowballs at each other.
Is that right?
To get back.
I was waiting for some eggs or something to come flying down out of the stand.
Let's not talk about eggs.
Okay.
I don't need any more of those. After a break, we'll have the rest of the day around the division and the league, including those cocky Lions.
Sports Sunday is brought to you in part by Lexus.
Just how realistic is the audio system in the Lexus LS 400?
Who says calling overseas has to be expensive? Sprint's got a new way to call that can save you over 25 francs on a typical call to France, hundreds of yen on a call to Japan, and thousands of won on a call to Korea. It's called Sprint World. The way things are today, you need all the won you can get.
When I was a boy, we only ate chicken on Sunday. Now people want to eat chicken every day. So Wendy's has a lot of different chicken sandwiches.
Like our chicken parmesan, a whole breast of chicken, mozzarella cheese, and a rich tomato sauce. Now that's Italian.
My daughter Wendy said, Dad, chickens are happening. Chickens are happening. Kids.
Come in today for the special taste of our chicken parmesan, only at Wendy's.
Welcome back. The Bears are 6-2, but still not the Lone Rangers atop the NFC Central as the Lions gun down the Cowboys at the Silverdome today. Pick it up with Cowboys' Ken Willis attempting the field goal. It's blocked. Mad scramble. It's picked up by William White, who turns it around and goes 55 yards for the touchdown. Turning point of the ball game. Eric Kramer in for the injured Rodney Peete finds Barry Sanders, who wheels his way into the end zone. Did you know that he's not going to have sex until he gets married? That's what he said.
Barry?
Yeah. Oh. Troy Aikman then tries to get him on the board late. A little quick out. Ray Crockett steps in front of it, picks it off, and he just takes off all by his lonesome. High stepping down the sidelines. He goes 95 yards and stops.
That's taunting.
And then goes one.
Out and out taunting. He should have been penalized.
Lions rout Dallas 34-10. They share first place in the division with you guys, and next Sunday, Soldier Field, the big monumental showdown for the division lead.
It will be absolutely magnificent.
You think so?
Yeah.
Now, you know, I know Ditka was making reference. First he said, you know, the Saints are not as good as their record shows. He kind of alluded to that. And I think he feels the same way about the Lions. You know, until they beat Dallas, they hadn't beaten anybody, really.
They felt pretty good to me today, the Saints did.
They were hitting pretty hard.
Yeah, there was some nice hitting going on out there by both teams.
Rodney Peete hurt his Achilles on a late shot, and I never heard of this Eric Kramer
Poor
guy.
thing.
Yeah. It'll be a good one, but it's going to be on grass at your place.
Find out his number. I'm going to send him a bouquet.
All right, we will. Elsewhere around the NFL today, the Vikings came up big. Of course, they look good. against the Cardinals. That's Hassan Jones with the touchdown. This game really never in doubt. Herschel Walker looking like the back he's supposed to have been his whole career. Takes it around the right side. No problem with the touchdown there. Minnesota wins it 28-0. And then in the Battle of the Bays, Green trounce Tampa. Chris Chandler gets smothered. Brian Noble recovers for the TD. Packers force 8 turnovers, 6 sacks, and they win it 27-0. The rest of the games today, the Eagles had Jimmy Mack back in the pack. Early on, McMahon looked good. He floats a perfect lead lob to Keith Byers down the sidelines. But the 49ers roared back thanks to stuff like this. Rod Harris signals for the fair catch. It's no catch. It's a jailbreak volleyball game. This thing's all over the place. They ruled it a muff down at the 2, and then they put it in. San Francisco won it 23-7. It was the Oilers' turn to beat up on the Bengals. Warren Moon a dart to Ernest Givens, who does his shimmy. He calls this the electric glide. And Houston wins it 35-3. Play of the day, Browns beat the Steelers. Bernie Kosar bangs one off a helmet, goes right to Leroy Horde. Touchdown Cleveland, 17-14. The Falcons and the Rams, big day for Chris Miller. Here he launches one 55 yards to Michael Haynes, who beats everybody. Miller and Atlanta cruise 31-14 over the Rams. Patriots and Broncos, Hugh Millen running for his life. Doesn't know what to do here. Time is ticking down. He's got no timeouts left. They're trying to run a play. They can't get it together. Denver and the clock beat New England 9-6 in a pathetic performance. Seahawks and Chargers. Dave Craig, a wobbler to tight end Mike Tice. Seattle wins that one easily 20-9. And tonight, you'll love this one. Looked like the Giants' jinx over the Redskins would hold as Rodney Hampton went in. It was 13-0 New York. Washington comes back with 17 unanswered points, 2 big bombs. Mark Rippon to Gary Clark. And the Skins are now the only unbeaten in the NFL. They come back to win a thriller, 17-13. So let's recap it on the board. The Bears with a tremendous victory down in Louisiana. Detroit wins 2, though, to share first place. Green Bay now 2-6. Tampa is 1-7. Minnesota with the shutout, they're 4-5. San Francisco over Philadelphia. Atlanta beats the Rams. Washington only over the Giants, they're 8-0. And Houston beats Cincinnati. Cleveland over Pittsburgh. Denver beats New England. The rest of the AFC East was off today. Seattle over San Diego. Tomorrow night, it's the Raiders and the Chiefs. You know, you guys look like you have turned the corner, perhaps.
Well, half the season's over anyway.
That's good for you.
What are we, 6-2?
Yeah.
So is Detroit. What a barn burner it's going to be this weekend.
I think it is. Remember,
by the lake, baby.
Remember I told you that Hampton said that he would check with you after 8 games to see if you were still together. And then he could determine whether you'd be able to finish the year.
Well, see, we're going to talk about eggs again.
No. Hey, I picked you to win this week.
Did you?
It's on tape.
That's why I'm not going to chastise you too much tonight.
Next up on Sports Sunday, this week's edition of Prep Watch. Don't go away.
You know, I was in the market for a new car. Oh, really? And I looked at Hyundai and I looked at Geo. And then I stopped by the Ford dealership and drove one of those new Ford Escorts. Was I surprised? It handled well, it got great mileage, and it has this new 3-year bumper-to-bumper warranty and a much better safety record than some of the other cars that I drove.
The 1992 Ford Escort. Comfort, reliability, and value for only $168 a month at your local Ford dealer.
Oh, but don't tell him what I paid for it. Let him guess.
Guys, doesn't get any better than this.
Bob Pullum was wrong, because when a crate of lobsters fell from the sky, it got somewhat better. And when the Swedish bikini team dropped by, it got a little better. And when an old Milwaukee truck showed up, it most certainly got better. Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It just doesn't get any better than this.
In the fall of each year, the best thoroughbreds around the world are prepared for one very significant day of competition. The ultimate goal of this training is a Breeders' Cup Championship. And on Saturday afternoon, November 2nd, historic Churchill Downs will be the place where racing's championship dreams are realized. Breeders' Cup, the championship of thoroughbred racing. Watch it live November 2nd on NBC Sports.
In the past, this car has been praised for holding its value. This one for outperforming the stock market. Over the past year, however, no other luxury car in its class has retained more of its value than the the Lexus LS 400. Maybe this is what they mean by a new world order. Visit your Chicago area Lexus dealer and see how smart owning an LS 400 can be.
Well, the decisive 7th game of one Sirius World Series tonight in the Metrodome. They are still scoreless in the bottom of the 10th. The Braves and the Twins each had numerous chances to score and could not. Who do you want in the series, by the way?
Are the bookies still taking bets?
Right now they are. They will still take one, I think.
Yeah, well, I can't do that.
Who do you
gamble.
like? No, we're not talking. No, as a fan, who do you like?
Well, I'm from the South. Who do you think?
You'd pick the Braves?
I like the Braves over the Twins. You know, I have to play up there in that Metrodome. Minnesota. I can't get on them. We're playing Detroit this week.
That's right. Now, I don't like that Cinderella story. I go for the stepsisters all the time.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll put my money
on
that.
You're kind of a stepsister guy.
Yeah. Anyway, in tonight's Prep Watch, a little side out, some double mid tennis, and of course, more football. Here's John Kelly.
Girls volleyball leads it off tonight with Niles North hosting Deerfield. On the right, the Warriors' Peggy Mandel and Julie Gertie sparking the attack. Combining solid serving and slick teamwork, Deerfield grabs the match in 2 sets. The victory improves the Warriors to 16-10, clinching the Central Suburban League title with a perfect 10-0 conference record. On the football field, Niles West visiting Maine West. Wearing white, the Indians' ground game looking strong behind Devin Lacko's 118 yards and 2 touchdowns. Dan Guilleon also powering the Niles West attack, scoring a pair of touchdowns as the Indians rushed for 300 yards and 22 first downs. Behind the offensive explosion, Niles West wins it 27-14. In a battle for bragging rights in the West Suburban Gold Conference, undefeated Hinsdale South invading Downers Grove. The Mustangs controlling the ball early, getting on the board as Dave Vicente crosses the goal line. Downers Grove keeps the pressure on, with Victor Smith outracing the defense, giving the Mustangs a 23-9 victory. In girls tennis, it's state tournament time, and in doubles play, it's a family affair. A tandem of twin sisters, Amy and Sarah Hazen, taking the tourney by storm and walking off champions. Playing in the near court, the Hazen sisters of Wood Rivers were unseeded in the championship, but definitely tops on the court. Facing one of the tourney favorites in the Lake Forest pair of Jessica Clapper and Jill Giannitis, the Hazens dominated play at the net. Amy and Sarah shocked their opponents, scoring winner after winner and taking the match in straight sets, 6-3, 6-3. In singles play, the state's top 2 players going head-to-head. Wendy Fix of New Trier in the far court, facing Margie Lepsy out of Lyons Township. Just a sophomore, Lepsy showing patience and poise throughout, cruising to the title without losing a set in the entire event. Lepsy's victory helped Lyons Township easily win the team title, giving the Lions their 2nd straight state championship. Reporting with this week's Prep Watch, John Kelly, Channel 5 Sports.
All right, John, thanks a lot. Back to the Bears. You know, Terry Bradshaw, now the CBS commentator.
Both guys were tougher than them.
They were pretty tough. He listed, Bradshaw did today, he listed the 10 best teams in the NFL. By his estimation, you guys were not in the top 10. Dallas was ahead of you.
Oh, well, I'm just not going to put him in my top 10 all-time quarterbacks then. Who cares?
You know, you're such a big star now. Sir, could you stand up for a moment? We have a photographer from Chicago Magazine. Look, come on, get up. This guy's laying on the floor behind. What kind of shot is this? Come on, stand up.
He's getting our butts in the picture.
Come on, you have to stand up here. We have a, oh, there he is. Oh, you got him on the overhead spy cam.
The spy cam.
Now, what kind of shot is that going to be? Oh, yes. Oh, look at this shot. Steve, can you just pose for him back there?
Why do you think I got my shirt open?
Yeah, all right. Finally, tonight...
No hair girls on the playground?
Right, that's good. One more note about today's Bear game. A salute to the stellar officiating crew for another well-coordinated effort.
Everything on the field, it has been ruled a completed catch.
Yeah.
I couldn't have done it better myself.
How'd they do? You think they officiated the game pretty well? Yeah, you know, that's the kind of game that could really get out of hand.
I got absolutely raped one time.
You were complaining early in the game. You got tackled.
No, it was later on in the game. Right before they scored their last touchdown, I ran back there. The guard just by the neck, just pulls me around, and he runs out of the pocket, out of bounds, and the next play is a touchdown pass. They catch him for holding, they got to go back. They have to kick a field goal there. It was absolutely ludicrous.
You know, Kevin Butler could have been in the running for Beautiful Man. He made a tackle.
Do we have that up now?
No, we don't have that. We don't have it.
Oh, I'm telling you. He was in the running, but...
All right.
It wasn't a solo tackle. He had help.
All right, nice job tonight. Today.
Yeah.
Tonight was kind of shaky.
Yeah,
Today
well,
was good, though.
I can't give him Citizen Kane every week.
That's right. We'll see you later. Thanks for watching.
Beautiful man. Yeah, you know who you are. It's time to go. I'll see you on next week's show. We had a blast. So sorry you couldn't last. No need to wear a frown. Just 'cause the critics put me down. They say I'm crass. Well, they can go and kiss my ass. No one tells me how to talk or when it's time to go. If you're so great, then why don't you get your own damn show? Get your own damn show. It's my show.